Also, yeah, that was just bad logic on his fault. Yeah, I think he sacrificed himself in the hole that I was talking about. But also the logic of it, Cardis has granted me eternal life. If Cardis could grant eternal life, wouldn't Cardis have granted themselves eternal life? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Ray, and we are back with the final episode of Record of the Lodoss Wars.
We've come a long way, brother. We've come a long way.
And yet we haven't gone that far at all.
I know, really.
I mean, you moved into a pizzeria since we started.
Yeah, look at that. It's actually upgrading it to an Olive Garden.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if we were to look to the right, we would see some of the famous people that have visited your location since, I'm going to guess, Captain Kirk, Spider-Man, Captain America.
That's right. That's right. All those people here that I have on my wall. And for those of you who may recognize that little one there, Gundam there. They'll be up here soon.
Mad Nug. I'm familiar with Mad Nug. It's Gundam spelled backwards since you're mirrored.
They'll catch it now.
Everyone's favorite, Mad Nug. It's fine. I was watching somebody react to all the openings of Gundam lately, and there was a non-fan react to, and they just kept calling them Transformers, and I was like, someone's ripping their hair out. I know.
Yeah, I would lose my mind too. Transformers.
You know, it's the same thing if you're watching Star Wars and someone kept saying Star Trek all the time, or just getting it wrong.
At that point, you yell out, "Get out! Just get out!"
But yeah, no, it's been a journey. It's been some weeks of going through I don't want to call it unfinished, because clearly they took some effort to finish, but it's not the finish line that is the actual finish line.
It is, what would you call that, though? It's like a potpourri of ideas.
Well, it's the same thing as Full Metal Alchemist, right? Full Metal Alchemist had its original series, but then they weren't finished the manga somewhere near the middle, and they made up their own ending. And then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood comes out after the manga's finished, which is exactly the same start, but around a halfway point, they have a different story because they go with what the manga did. So essentially, I would believe that whatever the first half of Chronicles of something, I don't remember the name, the next thing, the actual thing, would be the same up until like whatever point it is the first 8 episodes of this, and then different story.
I was under the impression, I haven't seen any of these. I have not seen any of the Full Metal Alchemist. I know about them, and I always thought that the first one was the second one, the Brotherhood. I thought that was a spinoff of the first one. I had no idea, since you mentioned it, that it was actually the real complete story based off the manga, as opposed to the first one, which was pretty much butchered up and piecemeal together.
To my knowledge, there is no real spinoff unless you count the movies. The first series, as I said...
Are there movies?
Yeah. The first series, as I said, there's actually even a live action, which is apparently shit. But the first series, as I said, was made before the manga was finished, so they made up their own ending. And technically, they made up about half the story, technically. And then they made a movie, which is the Ed and Al go to the real world instead of their world, which is, I think, World War One. It's either, I want to say World War One Germany, and not World War II Germany for very clear reasons. But I also actually think it might be World War II Germany, given the fact that there is a religious order that's very reminiscent of a religious order in World War II, which is one of those combinations of all the religions together. And they end that movie stuck in the real world, essentially. And that is a non-canon movie because it's from the series that itself doesn't finish in the canon style. And then in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I'm a bit confused here because it follows the characters. It's released after Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, so I would have to assume it's tied to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the Sacred Star of Milos, which they just go off and do a thing somewhere, but it has to take place somewhere during the show and not after the end for specific non-spoiler reasons. So, don't know. But there are movies for Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay. At some point, I'm going to get into it. I know I'm going to watch it. My daughters keep begging me to watch it.
It is considered one of the greats. Like, it depends. I think generationally, there are greats. Like, back when I was getting an anime, there was the big three: Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto. People from before that would say the Dragon Ball Z. Big three is a creation of its time. So the big three being, again, Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. Picked by, I believe, just whoever was making Shonen Jump magazine at the time. They weren't like the best selling or number one rated or anything. I think Shonen Jump just picked them out of their lineup. Dragon Ball Z was the big inspiration for a lot of people before then, or Sailor Moon, if you like. And nowadays, it's just like late 2000s, mid 2000s, Full Metal Alchemist. People would say if you want to get people into anime, that might be the big thing. Nowadays, it's just like
would it be Attack on Titans?
Attack on Titan?
On Titan?
Some people would say. I only got like 2 seasons into it before I just stopped watching it.
Yeah, you left it longer than I did. I left it 1 season. I was like, my God, this is so sad.
Sad. I didn't think it was sad. I just thought it was.
I just felt like it was so helpless that these people are going to be just chewed to death.
That's the point, though.
I know, but I couldn't get into it because of that. I was like,
well, I mean, bringing it back around. You remember the conversation we had about Parn and motivation and inspiration to watch the show? If Parn is an all-powerful character, then why do I care about what fights he gets into? Same kind of thing for Attack on Titan, right? You're depressed about how sad the world is and how powerless they are to prevent their fates and whatnot. And it's like, well, yeah, but that's the motivation for rooting for them. If any character can die...
I get it. I was just like, it just feels... I feel like exhausted after every episode.
You should watch then? Maybe tell your daughters that are telling you that you should watch Full Metal Alchemist. I'm suggesting you watch Made in Abyss.
I have seen the first season.
The whole first season?
The first season I saw, I actually liked the first season. I just started watching... I just saw the first episode of the second season recently, actually.
We reacted to it on the channel.
So I'm gonna have to think of, there's a long gap, and actually now that I mentioned the long gap, there was a long gap between season 1 and season 2 of Attack on Titans. And I think that's another reason why I didn't get into the season 2.
Technically, there is more than one Titan, but I still appreciate you keep pluralizing Attack on Titans.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I held off on watching Made in Abyss for so long because I just didn't want to watch something super depressing. And to be fair, I was balling at the end of season 1.
I believe I was too. I remember what it was. I remember the kid.
It was, well, she was once a kid, but a blanket full of their favorite toys, and you got to put them out of their misery. And I gotta say, season 2 is not gonna make you happier.
Okay, then maybe
it is exceptionally still a good story. Like, Made in Abyss is like top tier shit, but at the same time, don't be depressed when you start watching it. Otherwise, you might not survive the story.
Yeah, I'll go back and watch it for sure because I know this is I watched it on the recommendation from Gerard. Gerard was like, "You gotta watch this, Ray. You gotta watch this." So I did, but this is a couple years back that I saw the first. Whenever it came out was when I saw it.
Well, it's good. It's incredibly good. I can't believe I held off on watching it for so long. But then again, I knew it was a very sad anime. So I just didn't want to watch an anime to be sad, considering...
You got to brace yourself or prepare mentally yourself for what you're about to get into.
Yeah. Well, I guess that takes the punch out of you got to watch Made in Abyss. This is how sad you thought Attack on Titan was. It's like, oh, I can think of worse.
But I do think that I probably would have gone to season 2. I think there was a long gap. Now I'm thinking about it. There was a long gap before season 2 came out.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years, right?
They're saying there's going to be a season 3, and the joke was 5 or 6 years. So
I wonder why they do that, because like a person like myself, though I'm not a diehard anime fan. Like, I watch anime, I grew up with anime, and I'll still watch anime. But I do think that maybe because I'm older, I guess maybe it's like if I 2 or 3 years waiting, it's like, all right, whatever. I go watch
the reason that they do it is because the manga's not finished. In fact, City of the Scorching Sun, I think was what season 2 was called, and that basically caught them up. So the idea is that, season 3 is coming. I have to finish writing the manga first. I wouldn't want them to rush. Story's been pretty good.
We don't want to continue that Game of Thrones type of legacy.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys sped up the end of Game of Thrones so they could move on to another project that they had secured the rights for, and they fucked up Game of Thrones so much that they didn't get that thing that they were promised. Serves them right.
Karma's great.
Yeah. Well, any thoughts about the actual show that we're watching before we actually hop into the episode?
This is it. This is the big episode, what we've been waiting for.
All right. Well, all that said, let's go ahead and hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
You'd think this could be the episode where we wouldn't need this.
You would think it would start off right here, where we left off at.
Well, it's just the element that just literally last episode kept talking about how everything in this is contradictory to stuff the characters have been saying.
Mm.
How Cardis is dead, but Cardis isn't dead. How we're going to reawaken Cardis. To be fair, I guess you can awaken someone from death. I think that's a thing that happens in tropes.
But it could be the fact that it's been so long ago that legend turned to myth and myth turned to that, whatever. And,
That happens so much now that I'm watching a show that I'm like halfway through season 2 on called Apothecary Diaries. Also a show I would highly recommend. Essentially, ancient China inspired, let's say, apothecary, obviously solving mysteries through knowledge, but it's all also deep, heavy conspiracies all around. It's like political intrigue.
That sounds interesting.
Well, something she said during one of the episodes was essentially the further away you get from the source of a legend or a myth, the further away from the truth of it that you get. And just like every show I've watched since then has had that thing. That being a plot point or something. It's the mattress effect, right? Until you need, the moment you need a mattress, all you see on TV are mattress commercials. Once a thing is in your mind's eye, it's all you see. And yeah, we saw, it seemed blue, but it looks like the green dragon on the end in the preview for next episode. Or this. Even though we're on Marmo, Lodoss, the Burning Continent. I would say, remember we left him off fighting a ghost. Was it a ghost or a roper? No, it was Slain and Lelia that was fighting the roper.
Yeah, and then we had Etop fighting their version of what I thought was
right.
Balrog.
Yeah, they left him behind. I forgot that. Same shot, different background. Yeah, obviously I'm rooting for Ashram, because again, I was drawn as Ashram. She is literally the goddess of madness and death. It's not blasphemy, it's part of her title. I love anime before the epilepsy warning took effect.
How many kids just dropping?
Well, yeah, but anime I watch these days, sometimes I just look away because it's just like painful to the eyes. Remember, you gotta put him on the pillar because he killed your sacrifice.
Well, this guy got spunk in him.
Not untrue. Hey, remember he has Fawn's sword
Yeah.
because his dad's sword got cut in half. Remember, somewhere on the surface, there's like a 10-story tall dragon fighting an army. No, see, they do remember. I thought they'd be fighting Cashew's army.
Until this guy showed up. Oof.
Super effective.
What the?
When did he become frozen? He was like around and talking like in episode 3.
And I'm gonna
Also, how did Nars lose that? Had him by the neck, bleeding.
It looked like he had him dead to rights.
Okay, reached out to the ice blue dragon, and then the Leviathan from the water comes back. This is just going to turn into a flight of dragons, where it's all the other dragons versus the black dragon.
What?
I'm assuming Cardus's power is like overflowing and everything.
And making the undead?
I guess. Cardus isn't the god of regeneration, so it's god of death. Don't know how that tracks. One, Parn hasn't gotten there yet. We know that. We've seen the room. Also, not a super deadly situation if two people could just stand there, stare at each other, and have witty retorts.
Really, right?
I would love to take that scene where the rocks break apart and just put the Kool-Aid Man in there. If you're performing a ritual, shouldn't you stay in the room to do the ritual and not follow him through the wall?
I'm thinking if Dylan's regenerating behind him or healing.
Her life force has been fading for the entire time. Also, my guy's been getting his ass kicked for like the last 15 minutes. I feel like the quip should have been more about how a failed bodyguard he was.
どうした小僧アシュラムをかばい立てするのかディド返せもう遅いわハイエルフの命は邪神カーディスに捧げられるのだ見よ
Legit, there's like no visualization that's telling me that's what's happening.
バカめこれが最後だお前のな貴様
Dude,
that high collar blocking his. Oh my god!
Also, at what point did Ashram get behind him? Wasn't Parn blocking the blow from in front, so Ashram should be behind Parn?
Well, when you have a collar like this, you won't be able to see your surroundings too well.
Well, it's not about... It's about positioning.
Yeah.
He should be behind Parn and then had to move around Parn. And not for nothing, Wagnard was looking right at Parn. Also, yeah, that was just bad logic on his fault. Yeah, I think he sacrificed himself in the hole that I was talking about. But also the logic of it, Cardis has granted me eternal life. If Cardis could grant eternal life, wouldn't Cardis have granted themselves eternal life?
You would think.
Cardis wouldn't need Deedlit to sacrifice their eternal life if they had eternal life to give. Yeah, we ran out of the animation budget. Come on, yell Deed one more time. Oh, or is the thing going to be that she does have her life sacrificed, Parn succeeds, takes the staff, and unwittingly gets eternal life himself to live the rest of his days without Deed? That'd be kind of a twist. Well, you saved my life. Time to die.
Yeah, really.
Half an episode left to wrap up all of this.
All these loose ends.
Are you dead, Wart? What is going on with you?
No, it looks like he's projecting.
He's not, though. He became incorporeal back at his place, turned into lightning, teleported through the air, and now he's here, but see-through. So it's like... Seems like they can so far. Also, not for nothing, the gods are dead. Carla's alive. Point Carla. Remember when you vowed to kill me a long time ago? Yeah, I legit don't think you want Cardis to be reborn either, though. This is a fight to see who gets to turn off the off switch.
That's pretty much what it is. But I really don't think that Ashram does want that. Definitely doesn't want this dragon weight being raised. Well, there goes that boy. Maybe he wasn't ready. Maybe Cashew was right. What the?
Didn't we see you, like, hit the lightning? That's pretty creepy.
Decapitate.
I mean, they've given my boy really, like, nothing to do here other than to kill Wagnard twice. Because otherwise he's fighting for nothing.
He might have to come a third time.
No. He's like a wraith or something.
Or lich.
It's just the element that after it seemed like he had defeated Wagnard, he had no point doing anything anymore, and he still just chose to fight Parn for no reason. It just doesn't give me any, like, this guy should succeed feelings. Also proves to me that Ashram could defeat the Emperor from Star Wars. Well, not anymore. Never mind. Take it back. Dude's still talking. We thrown him into the lightning lava, chopped him in half, stabbed him through. Again, we're saying this, but we're on Marmo right now.
The sword came out?
He fell down there twice. Is Parn gonna take both swords now?
That would be cool.
Send a shot. He's looking at it. Now he's that elf, whose name I can't remember. And now he's invincible, I guess.
Now he's immortal.
I just mean the lightning struck and went around him. So have you been able to talk this whole time?
Why is she asking him to stay back? You would think that she want to be rescued.
Well, she said at the very end of last episode too, you know, there was like no hope or whatever. Cool, he changed the color from red to blue. And as we all know, blue is a good guy color, right?
Yep.
And for absolutely no reason, Naris then lost the fight. Naris, who seemed to have been living in a volcano this whole time, burned to death. I mean, it wasn't actually a volcano, but it looked like a volcano down there every time we saw him. Didn't we see the Leviathan wake up too? Like the water dragon?
It looked like you did.
We should have had the water dragon then come up and then finish Naris off in the water.
No.
Yeah, I guess they were zombies. I feel like the point of the Carla thing was that Carla set this all up. Like, put Parn on the journey to defeat Lagnon. And that's why Carla's here watching over it, and then, like, where it's like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's like, I'm only here to protect Lodoss. Now that you're a Force ghost. Yeah, I feel like that's the whole point. Carla set this all up so that Parn... She got flesh-colored nipples. We can all see that now. Yeah, this is the whole point, that Carla set everything up so that Parn would eventually get here. The most obtuse route to defeating Cardis.
人々はマーモを沈めた若者を騎士と呼び、ロードスにまた一人の英雄が生まれたと称えた。
For a moment, I thought they meant literally was born, as though we were about to see a baby.
A baby, yeah.
Cassius' armor, still unused. He's literally already refused them.
Yeah, he might not wear it.
Sorry, that wasn't Cassius' armor. Parn's wearing Cassius' armor. That's the armor that Fawn wanted to give Parn, and he refused. I burned my house down. I gotta find somewhere to live. We had your father's sword fixed. Just not on the battlefield. You're not ready. So why are you here? Don't you have your own kingdom?
The Desert Kingdom. Yeah, why is it? Well, they do call him the Wandering King, don't they?
The Mercenary King.
The Mercenary King.
Because he conquered all the kingdoms of the desert with his sword. Yeah, by leaving the door that you're clearly standing in front of? No. And now for the shot from the opening of every episode. Hey, you didn't say goodbye to your friends, did you?
Oh, really? What a scumbag.
And Wood never got to live his life ever again.
That was...
Well, no, because you're in love with Parn and you've never expressed any interest in Orson. And I guess Ito just does not hook up with the princess, now queen. Also, the desert is just right there. That's why. That's why Kashu's here. And then Gim's grave.
光の世を目指し、戦うことで闇が消え去ると信じていた。しかし、光も闇もいずれ崩れゆく。光あるところ、また闇もある。それを受け入れたとき、少年は真の英雄へと一歩を踏み出す。
But legitimately, that would mean that you don't fight all the bad guys, because there should be equal measure of bad guys and good guys. Seems to me in this area, there's 60% bad guys and 40% good guys. I've got to kill 10% of you.
When the balance tips a little bit, that's when the
Jedi Order reacts.
Yeah.
Got to bring balance to the Force.
Well, there you go. That was the regular Lodoss Wars.
Yeah. Not the best.
No.
I mean, there is a good story in there. And it may just be that I'm in a nitpicky mood at the moment. Flippant is what I typically call it. There's so many time skips and holes in the story, and like, oh good, if you were wondering if the gold dragon lived, it did. The injuries to its neck, not that bad.
Survivable.
Yeah.
For me, this show is very nostalgic. You know, I was very young when it came out. You know, a lot younger than I am now.
Oh yeah,
So-
no. If I'd seen this early '90s, be right up there with like the Roger Corman cut of Galaxy Express 999 that I saw back in the mid '90s. A horrible, horrible cut to a classic anime that I remember fondly, even though I rewatched a couple of years ago and re-experienced how bad it was. Nostalgia can overcome quality sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I experienced this in a D&D campaign, I would remember it fondly. Nothing at the end. Okay. I just thought maybe.
Alrighty.
I just don't know what to think. It feels like a good story if you forget like 25% of it.
I mean, it must have been a good story to the point that they wanted to go back and redo it and make 24 episodes to flesh it out completely the way it should have been done. So there is definitely there are nuggets of a story, or that this could be great, or the possibility of being something really good. Again, like you said, it was nostalgic for me, and watching it again, I guess it's a guilty pleasure. You know, I do enjoy. Though it's been a very long time I've seen it. You know, so even the ending, the last episode, I forgot all about it.
I mean, as you probably could. Here's my thing is that I guess it's weird for me that they took the opposite tact and like, let's double the length. That'll make it better. And maybe, yeah. I mean, obviously they have the source material finished, so they would know that they could add stuff. And to be fair, that is a big problem. The time skips and the missing information. But I think if I was going to solve this, I would have gone the opposite direction and would have cut it down to like a 6-episode OVA and cut a lot of the fat stuff that just left questions on the table and covered just the primary story.
I wonder if there's a video on YouTube or somewhere that maybe talks about the behind the scenes and why these choices were made. You know, why or what they were facing at the time.
I'm sure there's a book.
Because I'm interested. You know, I'm interested to know why. Because watching those you and your set of eyes, you made me realize things I didn't realize at the time. You know what I mean? So, and it's still something I do like. I do watch it, and I'll probably watch it again for sure. But you brought up a point that made me like really be curious about why did they take this route? Why did it come out this way? What happened from here to there and there to here? You know, why did they make these choices? Because there's a lot of things that doesn't make sense. You know, especially today to what comes out as a flesh or what's considered an epic. And I think that they were trying to shoot for an epic here. You know, which is hard to do in 13 episodes.
No, it's not.
You don't think so?
Gunbuster, I believe, Julian shit all over it, is an epic. It is a 6-episode epic. Gunbuster is beloved, I believe, by universally everybody as one of the greatest mecha animes of all time. And for some reason, Julian fucking thought it was stupid, but whatever.
Julian doesn't like mecha. He got into mecha now. Was watching what we saw was what you requested us to watch was Gundam. So I
remember Julian also said that Gurren Lagann was bad. Gurren Lagann, I believe, also universally considered one of the best mecha animes of all time. Literally will make you cry manly tears. Like, I don't know how else to describe the emotion you will feel while crying, but also feeling the manliest you've ever felt in your life. Gurren Lagann will do that to you. Julian said, not good. So, this is what you're being exposed to.
Yeah, Julian is a class to his own. Honestly, he's an enigma to me sometimes.
Look, I'm not complaining. I made that cut where you guys were watching Star Wars and you're making comments off to the side and just doing zoom-ins on Julian at you every time you say something that's like heavily allusioning to something that's going to happen later. So the man has showmanship. I'm just saying that his opinions are sometimes crap. Which I can say without fear of contradiction because he's not here.
Yeah, he's not doing too well right now. He's actually very sick.
Oh, well, just cut my legs out from under me. I'm making jokes and you're like, to be fair, Julian's actually dying. Like, oh,
No, he has pneumonia right now.
I'm not taking back my comments. He wants to fight me on this. He can haunt me from beyond the grave.
If you're watching this, Julian, we love you. We love you, buddy.
He's not watching this. All right. Well, again, I guess that is it for Record of Lodoss War. I believe we plan to come back for at least character ranking. Yeah, a character ranking, which normally I don't haven't done this with you before. We do the characters on like 5 different tiers of concepts, but also I try. Doesn't always happen, but I try to get audience inclusion into it. So it'll be a audience vote as well as ours, and it will bring all of that together in this whole thing. So hopefully that comes together well, and you and the audience can all see how it works. So
cool. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, that said, then, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Ray. We've been Stoneface Reactions and our Knights, and we will catch you next time. So until then, bye-bye.
See you, everybody.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?